lifelong Catholic, and I understand the Lord will forgive me, and I hope each one of you can forgive me as well.
An emotional apology today from Clark County Sheriff Jamey Noel. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison for using millions of dollars in taxpayer money to pay for things like a plane, lavish vacations, and several cars. WDRB's Darby Bean in that courtroom today where dozens of people told the judge how Noel's actions changed their lives. Darby?
Gil, as you just saw in that clip, Jamey Noel was emotional at times today in court. He apologized and he also asked for forgiveness, and he will spend the next several years behind bars. Today, Jamey Noel was sentenced to 12 years in prison. He was actually sentenced to 15, but 3 of those are suspended, so he'll spend at least the next 12 years behind bars, and this comes as a result of a plea deal. That means that Jamey Noel cannot appeal. Judge Larry Metlock said he was reluctant to accept the deal, but after listening to nearly 24 victim impact statements and taking time to think it over, he accepted. But he said Jamey Noel failed as a father, a brother, and an uncle, and said he deceived many people. Noel is the former sheriff of Clark County, and he pleaded guilty to more than 24 felonies. His charges include theft, obstruction of justice, corrupt business influence, and more. He was arrested last November, and as many know, this has been a lengthy investigation, saying he used millions of dollars from local agencies for his own personal use. Today in court, people talked about problems with EMS service, which was under Noel, and others said they felt their friendship and their trust were betrayed.
We will always have to answer the question, how didn't you know? For me, the answer is simple. Jamey told me he owned the for-profit EMS service, New Chapel EMS, and that he had nonprofit contracts with Utica and New Albany for fire service. He told me the business was lucrative, and I believed him.
As part of his plea deal, Jamey Noel is ordered to pay more than $3 million in restitution. Now, coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, WDRB's Stefan Johnson breaks this sentencing down further, and you can hear from someone who called themselves a former family member of Jamey Noel. And Gil, during that, she had him get very emotional. You can hear that coming up at 6 o'clock, that encounter as to why Jamey Noel was so emotional today there in court when that woman, again describing herself as a former family member, spoke to Noel.
All right, Darby, more to this story. We'll see you guys at 6. Thank you.